This episode is brought to you by Progressive. Most of you aren't just listening right now, you're driving, cleaning, and even exercising. But what if you could be saving money by switching to Progressive? Drivers who save by switching save nearly $750 on average, and auto customers qualify for an average of 7 discounts. Multitask right now. Quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $744 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2022 and May 2023. Potential savings will vary. Discounts not available in all states and situations.
Okay, everybody, welcome to the latest episode of All Too Real 2. My name is Michael E. Cullen II, and with me, as always, is
Sesame, Clarinet, Ned, and Carta.
Maybe Clarinet.
Clarinet, yes. Sesame, Clarinet, and Carta. I had to change it again right now. Now I got to go back to the...
Oh, yeah. Are they open? Are they open today?
Probably not. Sunday and Super Bowl, so I doubt it. But yeah. I'll just hang out there until they open.
Yeah, we're recording this on Super Bowl Sunday, so go team with the most points.
The superb owl. No, I look forward to the game. I like football. Yeah. Not really, but I like it. At the same time, if that makes any sense. I'm not sure if it does, but like I like it and don't like it. It's a weird. I like crowds cheering. Okay, for some reason that calms me, soothing for some reason. I don't know why. But maybe it's because I want people to like cheer my name, so like I like crowds. I don't know. And then
and if you're listening to this, I mean, obviously you're going to be listening to this after the Super Bowl. Just I think it's amazing what happened there with Taylor Swift and all of the great, all the psyops and all the other stuff that she did or didn't do, and that Usher performance, man, I can't believe he did that thing, and Joe
Biden up, and then
and then there's that one play that the one team did,
the red team. They're both red, so the red team did.
The red team, I couldn't believe it when the red team won. I was so happy.
Me too. Yeah,
or sad,
depending on which one you like.
Yes,
I'm rooting for the 49ers. I'm still really pissed off the Lions lost. I'm so mad at them because man, the Lions have not been that close to the Super Bowl, and they said like since the history of the Super Bowl, I think, and then they didn't even get to the championship game. So you see the championship used to be the big game, and then they added the Super Bowl like in like the 1960s. So like the Lions, they won the championship a bunch of times. Cleveland Browns, they did the same thing, and then once they did the Super Bowl, neither team it's like a curse was on both teams. Like they've never been to the Super Bowl. They both have been to the championship game, but they've lost each time. The Browns lost. I think it was in the 80s. That was the last time they got that far. Then they lost to a really stupid play that ruined the whole game for them. And it was against, I think, the Denver Broncos. They always lose against the Broncos. I don't know why. Anyway, so I seem to know a lot about football while claiming that I don't, which is weird. I don't know.
I know absolutely nothing, so it's okay. I know the team names and some of their histories, but beyond that, I don't care. I'm not even going to watch the Super Bowl. So.
You're not going to watch. You're going to watch the superb owl instead.
Yes,
that's what you're going to watch. You're going to watch this owl just hooting around all.
I'm going to watch the gigantic dish.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's cool. And when it comes to Super Bowls and other kind of games and parties, more often than not, alcoholic beverages are served. And
I've heard
it's important. It's important to drink responsibly. Of course, a lot of states now marijuana is legal, so that might also be passed around as a party gift. I don't know. Hopefully not cocaine because that's illegal and also very dangerous. But for the most part, most people aren't going to be watching the Super Bowl with cocaine. Come on. But
that's why I watch it with crystal meth. And
yeah,
wait,
They're gonna be doing much cooler shit if they're using cocaine. Come on, let's be real. They're gonna start a business or some shit like that. Like, dude, what if we decided to like start our own jet ski? Oh, sorry, I'm thinking of Loki because I finally finished Loki. That's another update. Finally finished Loki after like 3 months of not watching it.
Nice.
Holy shit! Those last 3 episodes were fucking fantastic. Wow,
they were superb.
Wow.
Anyway,
sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself.
Anyways, today on the show, we're doing another very special episode where we are covering Family Ties, Season 2, Episode 14, called Say Uncle. It originally aired on January 26th, 1984. So almost 40 years ago. Or actually over 40 years ago. Sorry.
Yeah, more than 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks was a very young man during this episode.
Yes, Tom Hanks was 28 when this was filmed.
See, that's the age I was pinning him at. I was thinking, I told my niece he's 9 years old. No, he's 28. Okay.
Yeah, his character was 28 as well, but or 28 or somewhere around there. But in reality, he's only 5 years older than Michael J. Fox, who plays Alex.
Oh, wow.
So, Michael J. Fox was 23 when this episode was filmed, playing a 17-year-old. But also, Michael Gross and Meredith Baxter, who star in this show as Alex's parents, they are 14 years older than Michael J. Fox. So they had him pretty young. And weird trivia thing that you can just throw out to people, all your Family Ties friends. Because, Family Ties is a huge show in 2024. Meredith Baxter and Michael Gross have the same exact birthday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, just a little.
So you're saying, okay, so you're saying that the actors who played his parents are only 14 years older than Michael J. Fox were?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. They must have aged very poorly. No offense, but I could have sworn his dad was in his 50s.
I think it's more to the fact that, I'd say more to the fact that that Michael J. Fox looks really young for his age.
Oh, true. Okay.
Yeah. And, so I guess because like if he was playing like 6 years older than he actually was.
Right.
So if you add those 6 years to his character, the parents could be that age.
Yeah. I guess that makes sense. Plus, too, they could have like made his hair gray a little bit on purpose to make him look a little bit older.
Yeah.
And plus he's got a beard and shit.
Yeah,
so it might look
if you watch Family Ties the first season, Michael Gross does not have a beard, and I think they made him grow the beard to make him look older. So yeah,
makes sense.
Anyways, so this episode was directed by Will Mackenzie and written by Ruth Bennett. And Gary David Goldberg is also credited. I don't know if he had anything to do with it besides creating the show. So he also went on to co-create Spin City with Bill Lawrence, another Michael J. Fox joint. And
Yep. A joint, man.
If you want to see an interesting movie that Michael J. Fox is in, it's his last project that he ever acted in, and it's called See You Yesterday. It's a time travel movie, and he has like a small cameo in it. I watched it randomly right after I watched this episode, and I had no idea he was in the movie.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's kind of weird that all of a sudden I'm like, hey, it's Michael J. Fox. Yeah, and the reason that I was thinking of that being a joint there is because Spike Lee produced this movie that I saw. So
and Spike Lee joint,
yeah. Plus, I just watched Malcolm X, so I've got all this in my head. Anyways, so what are your initial thoughts of this episode?
This is one of my favorite episodes of Family Ties, and probably in general. I remember seeing this for the first time in 2018. Well, I may have seen it when I was a kid, but like remembering it wise, I was I was going through a Family Ties phase for some reason in like around March of 2018. And then I had heard about this episode. Someone was talking about it online, like one of my friends or something like that. And so I went there, watched it. And even though it's like about a serious subject, just the way Tom Hanks acts is just so chaotic, but like just great acting. Like the type of character he's playing, like he just does it. He portrays that kind of personality, really well.
Yeah, he's great in the episode, in my opinion. I really enjoyed it. I think it still holds up.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think so too. It doesn't really feel that dated necessarily. I mean, I guess there is a little bit, because at one point they're playing like Trivia Pursuit, and they ask what is the most the country that drinks the most beer per capita, and it said West Germany.
Yeah, which doesn't exist anymore. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, there are a few dated references in there, I've seen, and everything, but I think it still holds up. So what goes down in this episode here?
Oh boy. Quite a bit in a short time span. So the episode begins with Jennifer. She's the youngest daughter, is practicing her clarinet and just absolutely horrible. And him and his mom and Mallory are cutting up vegetables for dinner. And Alex is like having like a full on like meltdown, like I can't take it anymore type of thing. And Mallory reminded him that he was so bad at the accordion that it drove his music instructor into a mental health crisis that resulted in them being institutionalized. And then they play us off for laughs, like a funny thing, like, ah, ha, ha, you're in the singing silence. So funny, right? Get it? Mental health is funny, right? And then he deflects responsibility by stating that his teacher already had mental health problems before he tormented them into insanity with this rendition of Lady of Spain. We'll as we go into the episode, we'll see that this type of skirting responsibility of one's actions is likely genetic, because we'll see Uncle Ned come in. Mm-hmm. So it seems like, not only is addiction genetic, but it seems like this also is maybe part of that, which also might, that might underscore why, Alex is a hardcore conservative. Anyway, sorry, but so that's a no.
Well, I think mainly this is just, I think the whole, in a way, this show was, even though he's a kid, it was kind of like the reverse, all in the family or something.
Oh, it's the rebellion factor. Yeah, you're gonna go against parents no matter what they believe, right? So
plus it was Reagan's America at the time. So yeah,
it was Reagan. Yeah. So Alex has a severely unhealthy obsession with his uncle, to the point of maybe that should be addressed in therapy, perhaps.
Yeah.
I know this time where therapy wasn't really utilized by many people unless they had like severe mental problems, but now it's becoming a little bit more normalized. Anyway, so it's fine to look up to someone. I mean, we all have idols and people we look up to and stuff, but his reaction to his Uncle Ned coming over is more of that of an attention-starved child, not a 17-year-old high school student of his caliber. I mean, he's going to be valedictorian and shit like that. He's got plans to run his own business, become rich and famous, all this stuff, and he's like acting like some 5-year-old.
Yeah.
He's also been pestering his dad to get Ned a job interview at his company. I'm not sure where he works. I forgot that aspect of the show.
The dad works at WKS, which is a PBS affiliate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I guess they're looking for somebody for like they're looking for a financial analyst for one of the local newscasts, which is according to them is the top ranked newscast in Columbus. So
wow, well, There you go. Okay. And so Ned has been unemployed for about a year or two at this point, because he works in finance, and he was actually like pretty high on the hierarchy chain.
Yeah, and he appeared in an episode in the first season too. So he's like,
he did.
Two seasons. Yeah, in the first episode there was like this whole FBI sting and stuff like that, trying to find him and everything. So yeah.
So Ned basically committed a crime, but he did it for the right reasons. So at his last job, he was Alex says he was vice president, but later on Ned said he was junior vice president. So I'm not sure if that's the same thing or if that was like a writing mistake. I'm not quite sure.
Or it could just be that he said vice president, but it's junior vice president and vice president, kind of the same thing. Yeah.
Right. Could be like the whole like assistant to the manager, assistant manager type of thing from the office. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they matter. So what Ned did was his company he worked for was going to do a merger with another huge corporation, and they weren't going to really tell, I guess, any of the employees, and a lot of people were going to basically get fired because of this merger. And so Ned decided to hide $4.5 million into like a company computer or some kind of data server. I'm not really sure. And in order to stop it, which seems kind of weird, because like even in the 1980s, $4.5 million was not that much money for a corporation. So I'm not really sure that would have prevented them from doing the merger. Like, but
Yeah, I guess it depends on how big the company was too. Yeah.
That's true. So this pretty much got him a felony, or at least maybe he got off without a felony. Basically, he's kind of like on a blacklist now. Like nobody hired this guy for finances, even though he's like according to Alex, again, 'cause Alex has like an unhealthy obsession with them, that he spoke in front of the World Bank at one point. So I mean, that's kind of a big deal. I mean, if you're talking to the World Bank, you're not just some analyst. You're someone who's, you know, up and coming or already someone who's already there. And which is weird to me because in this show, Alex is a Reaganite capitalist. So I find it odd that he's happy and proud of his uncle for essentially doing a revolutionary act that can almost be seen as like progressive and socialist in the aspect of like, hey man, I'm gonna fuck this corporation over because they're trying to screw the workers. Whereas Reagan, that was kind of his whole thing, and Alex likes Reagan. Anyway, okay. Or maybe it's just because he loves Ned so much that he's willing to look past his own political beliefs because he idolizes Ned so much. Could be that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what else happens after this? I kind of went over a little bit here in the beginning.
Okay, so Ned, you know, he comes in to the house. Everybody's excited after Jennifer was thrown out of the house to play her clarinet outside, you know, for some reason. Ned
Dark.
Ned comes in and he arrives with you know, the Keatons are there with their arms wide open for him, but he's got 2 garbage bags in his arms for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
I don't understand why he has 2 trash bags. I don't know if his clothes were in those or what it was. But so they all like catch up on these old times. Steven reminds him that there's this lucrative job at WKS. And Ned is kind of excited because, you know, maybe he can get his life back on track or something. He seems like he wants to celebrate with some beer. 5 fucking cans to start. Like, like anyone didn't see this problem to begin with, is what I'm trying to say. Okay.
Yeah, like they didn't bat an eye that he's like tells Alex like, and then he's like, all right, put this one back in the fridge. I'm taking the 5. I'm like, okay.
I mean, that's funny. That's funny when somebody's got a cake and you take one slice out and doesn't take the rest of the cake, but not when you're.
Yeah, it's hilarious, isn't it?
Yeah. No. Yeah, and so the night before the interview, they go out and they're playing like Trivial Pursuit and games and stuff like that, and and his beer consumption just keeps getting more and more as they're as they're playing this, and but you know, it's no big deal, you know, no big deal.
No, it's just fun. It's just having fun.
Yeah,
just celebrate. It's a celebration.
Just drinking because, you know, drinking a lot of beer helps you play Trivial Pursuit in the 80s.
It does. You have to. You got to get a good bug going to.
You know what else? You know what else helps you play Trivial Pursuit? Yeah. If you're really bored and it's before the internet and you have the box there. Or before you have like a lot of access to the internet, and you're like really weird like I am, and you take all the cards and you memorize all the answers.
Oh, of course.
I went through my Trivia Pursuit that I had. I literally memorized every answer to it, and then when we would play, I would win every time.
Hey, there's no rule against learning.
No,
right?
There isn't. It's basically research.
It is. You're not really cheating. You're just studying essentially.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what else is completely healthy and normal, though, is the fact that Ned literally finds any excuse he can have to drink and keeps saying celebration. Or
it's like, hey, I have a hangnail. Let's have a beer. Oh, like, what?
Yeah, it's like like his excuses get more and more like ridiculous as the episode. Like, there's no context for him whatsoever. And like, so they're playing Trivial Pursuit, and then I mentioned earlier about how he got the answer wrong about West Germany. And he's like, oh, well, they got us beat there. Oh, it's our patriotic duty to have another beer. It's like, is it? Is it? Right? I don't know.
They also have us beat on Holocausts, too. Did we have to compete with them that way, too?
I mean, excellent. Well, I'm not sure now because the way our government's funding the genocide, but we might.
But then again, there also was the whole like Trail of Tears and all that other stuff too that we've done.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Yeah, you know, within our borders. But yeah, we're not going to go there. Anyway, so so the night before the interview, Alex is up late studying, so he goes down to the dark kitchen to make himself a snack. He doesn't turn the lights on. And unknown to him, Ned is sitting at the table. You know, he's been sitting there most of the night, obviously, unable to sleep, and is drinking a bottle of pure vodka.
In the dark.
Yeah, in the dark, like, you know, a normal person.
Yep.
Yeah. Or like a crazy person, more like it. So he startles Alex and almost gives him a fucking heart attack. Alex practically like breaks the door off the fridge when he's so startled. And
I would do that. If I didn't see anyone, someone just screams hungry, Alex? Like what the?
Yeah.
Like, I would be like, what the hell is going on here, man?
I mean, last night I was really hungry, and I went into my kitchen, and Tom Hanks was sitting at my kitchen table. But that happens all the time.
He goes, hungry, Mike.
And I'm just like,
also too.
Yeah, I'm like, how'd you get in my kitchen?
Yeah, exactly. I broke in. He's got magic powers. Can I make a small point though about the quote unquote midnight snack that Alex is making for himself?
Yeah.
Okay. It looks like he took like half of the refrigerator contents out and put it. And it's not a snack. That's a
meal.
And he's got like a whole thing of tomatoes, lettuce, like a whole thing of ham. It looks like at one point.
Yeah.
And
well, brought it on. I mean, he's probably making a sandwich. I mean, I'm assuming, but still,
probably.
But still, that's kind of, yeah. I don't know. When I think of a snack in the middle of the night, I think of like a bag of Doritos or something. But I don't know. It's
something like that. And also too, I want to make a small point about earlier when they're drinking the beer, and like for some reason they did this. Ned and Steven, just this Alex's dad, they were gonna drink a beer together, and they like did this weird thing where they were like opening their cans at the same time and like doing this weird like dance thing and like grunting. Like I don't know what that was supposed to be. It was just really uncomfortable to watch because like I don't know if they were like it was supposed to be like them joking about the fact that they're drinking. Like I don't know if that was part of the joke or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know because I don't drink. So
well, it's just like the way they're like just like it was weird. Like I don't know who wrote that in. Or maybe that was an improvised thing with Tom Hanks and
Michael Gross.
Yeah. By the way, also he's in all those Tremor movies.
Oh yeah,
Tremors.
Michael Gross is awesome. So yeah,
which you might want to check out our episode from 2020 where we did Tremors 2. I think is what it was.
That one's I think one of our lost episodes. So yeah.
Oh no! Yeah, damn it.
I'll have to look and see because I don't think we ever released it because I think the file became corrupted. So
man, that sucks. That was a really good one too. Oh well. Sometimes lightning can strike twice, so maybe
we'll re-record it in a couple of years or something.
A couple of years from now, whatever.
By the time I forget what the movie's about.
Exactly. Anyways, those are just my little side notes.
Yeah.
That I want.
So while they're there, Ned offers to, it's like, let's go out for a beer run, at 2 a.m.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's
Ned, you need help, is what I'm got written in my notes. Yeah. So, yeah. So then he goes and he raids the pantry in a desperate attempt to consume anything that's in there with alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
First, he finds, he brings like all of the containers that have alcohol in it, like some artichokes and some maraschino cherries, and then he downs a whole bottle of vanilla extract, which has alcohol in it.
Apparently,
and he says because it might not be Miller time, but it's vanilla time.
Oh God, I love that line. That's like my favorite line. I'm gonna start that now. But before that, though, so I wanted to mention really quick that he asked Alex on 2 separate occasions within a 30-second time span to drink with them.
Yeah,
Alex is 7 years old. He's a minor. And he says, "Come have a drink with me. It'll make you feel better." And then Alex is like, "No." And then he's like, "Why are you up so late?" And he's like, "Oh, I got an economics exam." Then Ned says, "Oh, that calls for another beer." What? Why would having an economics exam? Why would your nephew having an economics exam call for you to drink another beer? That's what I'm saying. Now the excuses make no sense. Oh, it snowed outside. Might as well drink some vodka. Like what? Like what's the connection? I don't know.
Yeah, I think the drinking age in Ohio at the time was 19.
So he was still
underage. I was just looking it up. I was trying to figure out. I think it might have been 19 or it might have been 21, but it was definitely not 17. So
I mean, it's like he's sitting there trying to, entice his underage nephew again, who idolizes him, with an addictive substance that is illegal for him to consume at that age. It's not good, Ned. Come on.
Yeah.
Like, want to throw your own life away? I guess go ahead, but don't try to rope Alex into this, man.
then he offers to help Alex with his economics exam, because this is something he knows about. But Alex declines because he's like, noticing that Ned is drunk. And then, when he declines politely, Ned grows completely hostile and goes on this rant about how he thinks that Alex doesn't think he has it anymore, and and screams at him for all of his failures and stuff. And he's basically like blaming everybody else. And then he's like saying that he's just like, like a goody like his mom and all this other shit. So it's like
you're trying to tell me what to do. And the other thing too is he keeps referring to it himself as Uncle Ned like 5 times during this rant. Yeah. Like it's weird to say like, you don't like me anymore. He's like, you're embarrassed of your Uncle Ned, huh? You don't like your Uncle Ned anymore. It's like, you can just say you don't like me anymore. You don't have to refer to yourself as Ned. Like,
Well, whenever I'm hanging out with my nieces and nephews, I just say, hey, Uncle Mike is here. Can you get Uncle Mike a drink? Can you, no.
You get Uncle Mike 5 beer or 5 Mountain Dew, Code Red or something. Yeah. And then like put the other one in the fridge or whatever. Yeah. It's like your favorite drink or one of your favorite drinks.
Yeah.
Then Dr. Pepper. And
yeah, I don't like Dr. Pepper, but yeah.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
No, you do.
No, I know I like it. I thought you liked it too.
No, I'm a Pepsi and Mountain Dew kind of guy. But
right, yeah.
Code Red, yeah. But Pepsi's my jam.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, there's something about Dr. Pepper. I will drink it if I have to, but it's like there's something about the taste that I don't even know what the taste is. It's like cola tastes like cola.
Just don't like it.
Yeah. Mountain Dew is citrus. I don't know what Dr. Pepper is. So
right.
It's just a random mystery.
Mm-hmm.
So basically we knew that in a previous episode it was revealed that he had embezzled $4.5 million from his company and everything. And so he needs a job. He for sure doesn't, he keeps saying that I don't have it anymore. And my thought was, yeah, you definitely don't have that 4.5 million anymore.
Right. It's gone.
Yeah. So the morning of the interview, Ned is like sobered up to the point where Elyse doesn't even notice that there's anything weird. Elyse is the mom, his sister. So he leaves the room to get ready, and Alex is there, and he discloses to Elyse about what happened the night before and how he's concerned with that he might have a drinking problem, that Ned might have a drinking problem. However, Elyse brushes it off and basically says, so does Steven. So now, she's implying that her husband is, and I'm just like, and like Steven brushes it off too. And, she's
like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. And it's just like, I'm like, my response when I watched it, I actually just said to the TV, great parenting there, hippies. Anyway, so,
or former hippies, because now they're middle class.
Yeah.
Or Reaganite. Well, not Reaganites.
Oh no, they're not Reaganites. They're definitely
they're
definitely
liberal.
Yeah.
They're liberals, but they're middle class liberals, so they have abandoned their hippie revolutionary ways to become bourgeoisie pieces of shit. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
And
no, they just had kids and they needed to take care of them. So
that's what I'm saying. That's what happened. No, that's what happened to a lot of
but at least they didn't. At least they didn't become yuppies. So
no, that's what I'm saying. They retained their values, but in a way that was more feasible to having a family, mm-hmm. And so they had to make that compromise to go half-seas on it. Which I understand. I was just joking. But like the way Ned acts though is that like he is like completely manic. Like he's jumping from total elation to anger to making jokes to crying all within like a minute time span. Like he is not doing well at all. And like at one point I don't even think he understands what reality is, because mm-hmm. He first tells Alex to leave the kitchen of his own home because he's irritating him. And then he's like, no, you know what? Fine, I'll leave. I'm going to go out. And then he yells taxi at the top of his lungs inside the kitchen.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if he was trying to be funny or if he seriously thought that he could call a taxi.
I don't know. He looked like he was serious. I don't know. And then the other thing too about that, okay, so I know I'm kind of being picky here, but like, how is none of the rest of the family hearing what's going on right now during this whole thing? Like, yeah. That is like some chairs around. He's like,
It's a little known fact about the Keaton house. The kitchen is soundproof. It's
I guess so. They have the Harry Potter spell that just makes it so you can't hear the Mufilato curse or whatever.
Yeah.
Because, like, yeah, Ned's screaming taxi. He's throwing chairs around. He's, like, threatening Alex, acting very menacing and aggressive towards them. And then he'll immediately up to a joke and hug him. And then he's like, immediately he's irritable. And then he's like, fine, I'll leave. And then he like does this like awesome sauntering move where he takes his cherries. He's like, more cherries for me. And he like, oh God, like you just got to see it. It's hard to explain. You got to see him do the saunter. It's like, such a cool walk. And it's like, the thing is though, it totally looks like what someone would do when they're super drunk and like trying to be funny. Like it just looks like that someone would do in that situation. But anyways, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh no, you're good.
I got my show notes, so I'm just looking through some of these like added details that I've discovered the second time I watched it.
So then, you know, Ned comes back in. He pours some vodka in his orange juice.
Screwdriver.
Yeah. Which he randomly found in his jacket, his suit coat jacket.
Mm-hmm.
A mini bottle of vodka, you know, because
it's sitting there.
I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that if you go to like Men's Warehouse and get yourself a suit, it doesn't come with a bottle of vodka in it.
Unfortunately, no. It does come with a bottle of whiskey, though.
Oh,
like really
weird,
bad.
Weird.
And whiskey doesn't taste good.
Not like top shelf or anything.
No, this is something that addicts do a lot. They'll hide things or they'll stash them into different places. For one thing, either to hide it from their spouse or their family, but also to hide it from themselves so that they don't use it all up at once. So then they like, oh, I found this like 6 months later. Awesome. Here's a treat for myself. That kind of thing, you know, a little bit. So like that could have been him like just stashing that away in the suit pocket or whatever, you know.
It's like an Easter egg hunt, but you know.
Well, it is a little bit because it's because think about it. If you're an addict or something and you have finite resources or you just don't want to have to go for like a beer run or a drug run or whatever, you know, and you know that you have discipline issues that you just run through it all at once if you can.
Yeah.
You know, it is a smart thing to hide stuff from yourself so that not because you want to quit necessarily, but because you later on want to be able to find that stuff later so you don't have to go, especially if you're talking like illegal substances where there's like a certain risk factor of purchasing them. With alcohol, it's different. But like, for example, if I wanted to buy, you know, Percocets or whatever, you know, I'm not going to want to go to a dealer every single time to get that shit because there's the risk of being arrested or shot or beaten up or whatever. So, you know, a lot of addicts will hide these things even from themselves, which again, see, that's the other thing about this episode. Even though it's really funny, they actually are depicting a lot of addict behaviors very badly. Yeah.
So, anyways, Elyse, like, you know, is concerned, has a little bit of a raised eyebrow when this comes to the whole, screwdriver and the OJ. And, she, no, that would have probably, solved, Nicole's murder. But anyway, so,
wow.
Sorry.
Wow.
Yeah, would have prevented it if there was a screwdriver in the OJ. Anyway, so the
I mean, technically it would have, yes.
Yes.
Just from a factual biological perspective, yes.
Yes. So at the so she's like, you know, questioning it, and he's like, fine, I can quit, and he throws it down the sink. So, you know, it's like, okay, so everything's good now.
But man, another nitpick. I'm sorry. I keep interrupting you.
Oh, go ahead.
Nitpick is that he didn't even rinse the glass out, and that bothered the shit out of me. I don't know what it is, but I'm like, dude, you just leaving the glass there, like.
You know what bothered me earlier? There was a point where Alex, or Ned or something earlier in the show threw something in the garbage can. There was no garbage bag in the garbage can.
He just threw.
It just bothered me. I'm like, why isn't there a garbage bag in your kitchen garbage?
It was Mallory's day for the chore, and she forgot to do it.
Yeah,
like that. Another interesting thing about this episode is Mallory's not really in it that much at all.
Neither is Jennifer's hardly.
Mainly Alex.
Jennifer's a little bit more, but not much. So anyway, speaking of Jennifer and Mallory, right after that, they gift Ned with the ugliest pair of Argyle socks I've ever seen.
That's right.
Yes, I just saw the movie Argyle, but anyway, so totally not connected. But so then we arrive at the station. Ned arrives there like completely drunk and makes a fool out of himself in the interview with Steven and Steven's boss, Mr. Wirtz. So he even forgets to wear the ugly socks that the kids got him. But don't worry though, he did bring them inside a pocket in his jacket.
It's still in his pocket, yeah. After he put them in there They gave it to him.
Yeah,
and he forgot all about that because he found his vodka in the other suit pocket, and then that made him forget all about
Most suits, like if I ever start a suit company, it's going to come with vodka and Argyle socks.
It has to. It's the law.
And I'm going to call the suit the Uncle Ned.
We call it Ned's Law, or suit.
Anyway, so he like totally like creates a bunch of havoc in the meeting, throwing chairs around and trying to play his niece's clarinet at one time, crawling under the boss's desk and another, etc. It's just like totally like a
manic behavior. Like he's pushing the boss to the side so he could sit in the front of the desk, like acting like he's the boss. At one point, he sits next to Mr. Wirtz, and then he pretends that the two of them are interviewing Steven for a job, even though Steven already works there and he's the one that got the interview for Ned in the place. He's just going nuts. Like he's like screaming at one point. He accuses Mr. Wirtz of goofing around, that he has to take things seriously. It's like, dude, read the room, man. Like, what are you talking about?
And Wirtz like basically ends the thing, and Ned's acting like he's the one that's gonna make the decision. So he says, "I'll let you know in a few days" to Mr. Wirtz about the interview, and I'm just like, okay. And he totally embarrasses Steven, and Mr. Wirtz is like very pissed off. So, yeah.
I would swear to God, I would never, okay, maybe I would if they were having like a severe mental health crisis, but I wouldn't even talk to someone again if they did that to me and embarrassed me like that.
Yeah.
Like, I'd be like, dude, we're done, man.
Yeah. I was like, I don't care if you're my wife's brother. I'm not going to talk to you again.
Like, that was hard to watch, man. Like, he was acting so manic and so just unhinged. I mean, like, again, you gotta watch the episode yourself to really see his acting, because again, his acting is so chaotic in this episode. But again, it kind of because like there are like they call like the happy drunk or the jokey drunk.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like his personality, is like everything is a joke basically when he's drunk. But then those mood swings can happen too, where it's like it can snap into like anger, depression, or whatever, So he's sort of being like, I'm the funny uncle who likes to party. That's kind of his personality,
Yeah. So after this all, Ned comes home, comes back to the Keaton's house, I should say, and he acts basically like there was nothing wrong, like things went.
He killed the interview, man. He did it good.
Yeah. And so then Steven comes home and basically makes his brother-in-law realize what happened and what he had done. And I've never been drunk myself, but I have a question. Can it make you think things happened a way different than they actually have?
See, I don't know. That's the part too I was wondering, because I've never been drunk either. Well, no, I was drunk one time, but it was by accident because I had it was 4th of July in 2015. I got a good memory about weird dates. Okay, it's just my mind keeps like that. So it was 4th of July 2015, and we had some whiskey, and I put like a double or triple shot into like a big thing because I was gonna drink it over like a long period of time. And then I had some Dr. Pepper with me, but the Dr. Pepper was flat, and so it tasted like shit. Then I felt bad, like, well, I just wasted all this alcohol. I might as well drink it as fast as I can because I hate the taste. And so I got way too drunk, way too fast, ended up vomiting, and then I felt better. And then I watched the Angry Video Game Nerd for a couple of hours, and that was the only time I was drunk. That's an interesting little story. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you do. But yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, I've heard of people blacking out, but I don't know if I've really heard much of people like completely remembering things completely different than they happened,
That just sounds like a personality thing more so than an actual alcohol. I mean, I don't know, again, because I don't know.
It could happen.
It could. I mean, it just depends on how your brain and body responds to alcohol as well. Plus, there's different types of alcohol too that can actually cause like minor hallucinations or like their dreamlike states, like absinthe, for example. That can do that. But like the other thing too, I wrote down is, so he brought a bottle of champagne to quote celebrate because he thought he killed the interview.
Yeah,
and he told Alex to open it for him. And I wrote this because this is a serious question. is Ned trying to groom Alex into alcoholism? He's always asking Alex to be the one who serves the alcoholic. Every single time it's Alex. Isn't Mallory even older than Alex technically? So why not her? I don't know.
I can't remember their birth order. But yeah, if Alex is the oldest or the second oldest, but but still, even then, I mean, it could be to the fact just to the fact that Mallory's barely in the episode.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, she was hardly in it.
Yeah, maybe Justine Bateman had something going on that week. Who knows? So
there's another episode though. It's all about Uncle in the title, and it's about her. So that's interesting. You have two Uncle stories. The other one's kind of a little bit worse than this one. But
yeah, I plan to cover that again. I cover that in the future. So anyways, we got this, he basically tells him, what happened, Steven does. And then, Ned lapses into this rant about how he never had a realistic chance of getting the job, which Steven basically says is not true. And it's kind of implied that he was going to get the job until he blew it. So,
right.
And then he basically says that he no longer matters and will never be able to be the man he once was. And Steven gives Ned a sober dose of reality and basically says, you're an alcoholic, you have an illness, and it'll kill you if you don't get any help.
Right.
And
he's like,
yeah,
don't care. He says, I don't care. So he's like self-destructing. This is weird too, because thinking this would help for some reason, Alex pulls out a bunch of newspaper clippings about Ned's career that he just has in his wallet at all times. And even Ned realizes how bizarre this hoarding habit is, and then he just throws them in the fireplace. Because that's kind of weird, isn't it? That your nephew has newspaper clippings.
Well, see,
like what Walker would do almost. Like,
see, I hope all my nephews and nieces have clippings of all of my accomplishes in their wallets. I'm definitely going to have to ask them the next time I see them. That isn't a weird thing to do, is it at all?
It is. And also what's really weird too, going back to the unhealthy obsession that Alex has with Ned, which is, Ned's not being a great role model, is that, when he was trying to quote unquote hint to his father to get Ned the job interview, he wallpapered his parents' bedroom with Ned's resume. That's concerning behavior. Like, that's like, I think mental health issues.
That may have been an exaggeration though.
No, it's not. My headcanon it happened. And then I was like, no, you're probably right.
Probably just meant that he left a few copies of it around their bedroom.
But nope, it happened. Okay, it happened. He walked in the whole bedroom. That's a big resume if you think about it. Like, wow, how many jobs this guy had? Like,
I was assuming if they did actually wallpaper the room, there was probably several copies of the resume.
Oh, shit. That would be. Yeah.
Ned grabs those clippings and he throws them in the fire. Yeah, in the fireplace, which I had forgotten happened, but I saw it coming because I was like, why is the fireplace on?
Right, sitting there waiting for someone
something to happen. It's Chekhov's fireplace. And and Alex tries to stop him from doing that. And then Ned finally shouts at him, "Leave me alone." And as he's doing that, he slaps Alex so hard that he flies halfway across the room, nearly hitting his head on the arm of the sofa, but landing safely after he bounces off the sofa cushions.
Of course, that's a hard slap.
And so here's the thing. Ned could have killed him. So this is the reason I never compliment anybody in my family.
Yeah.
Because, they might get upset at me for complimenting them and then knock me across the room. So
true.
So what else happens here?
Steven basically says, either he gets some help or he's just pretty much out of the family, he's not welcome in the home anymore. And then so Ned does the very special episode type of thing where they do where there's silence instead of the immediate theme song of the show at the end. He calls AA on this really bright yellow telephone they have for some reason. And then he cracks another joke. He's like, would you be interested in subscribing to the Columbus Dispatch or some kind of newspaper? And they're kind of looking at him like, come on, Dad, be serious. And then he's like, my name is Ned Donnelly and I have a drinking problem, as he cries, and then freeze frames. And then there's no music for 10 seconds. Then it goes into the theme song. That's it. That's the whole episode.
So my a little stray observation here too. So if only Elyse had listened to Alex early in this episode, she could have prevented this child abuse that Ned did.
She could have, avoided a potential murder.
So I think the Child Protective Services should take the kids away from these hippies.
I think so. You could take the hippie out of the commune, but you can't take the commune out of the hippie, you know. So they might live a middle class, you know, life and have good paying jobs. That's the other thing too that always makes me sad about these shows from the 80s is that like their lifestyle is like so good in comparison to most people's now for the jobs that they had and the pay that they received for their jobs.
Yeah, but even then I think it was glorified for what it was, because I think more families in the 80s were like the family in Roseanne than they were like the, you know, the Huxtables on Cosby Show or something, you know?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. So my final thoughts here on this episode too is that we have this happy ending, maybe, because we never see Ned again on the show. So my theory is that either he got so much better that he became rich and forgot about his family, or he died of alcoholism in a gutter somewhere, babbling about how his weird nephew used to save clippings of him in his wallet. They'd
be like, "Sure, buddy." He's like, "No, he did. He had all these newspapers. Look, I mean, I threw them in the fireplace. I can't show you to me now, and there's no internet, so I can't print them out for you." But that would be sad. Or a third option is that he went Buddhist and then joined a monastery, and he's like just dedicate his life to like meditation and like just living peacefully along with nature and with the Buddha nature.
And to pay Alex back, he has a shrine to Alex at this temple.
Yeah, he makes a shrine now. Yeah. And then he offers a shrine alcoholic beverages in order to groom him into alcohol.
It's like in Major League that like when Sorrento like, you know, gives rum to that Joe Boo.
Joe Boo?
Yeah.
Joe Boo?
Yeah.
And then the pitcher drinks the rum and he ends up getting a fucking baseball bat thrown at his face.
Yeah.
Like, there you go. You fucked with Joe Boo's gift, okay? That was for him.
Do you... My question about this is, because this is a very special episode, do you think it made its point?
I think so. I mean, it was, again, his acting was very chaotic and it was kind of played for laughs, but I also think that a lot of people probably have known someone in their life who has that kind of personality. Because I had a friend, I still have a friend who was like that when he would get drunk. It was like, he would just like, he'd be full of jokes and he would just be like, it was almost like he could think like really quick on his feet despite being inebriated, but like,
yeah.
And then like, though, once the alcohol would sit in, it would be kind of like a depression thing going on, you know? So it's like, I think a lot of people had probably known someone, maybe not to like the extreme behavior he was doing in the show, but like something that's similar to that, you know?
I've known alcoholics who have had different ways of dealing with it. You know, some that, you know, were really happy and then became really angry. Some that were really happy and became depressed. Some that were just mean right off the bat. Some that were just depressed off the bat. Right. Some that woke up at random hours in the night and made bacon. And
that sounds good.
Yeah. So you never know what people.
Well, I remember that story. Was that your roommate?
I had a roommate for a short time who he used to get high a lot, but he also used to get drunk a lot too, and he would make bacon a lot. So yeah, this was ages ago. So yeah, weird times. But yeah, I think it worked, and I think it does kind of hold up. It might be a little bit funny version of alcoholism, but I think it does prove the point that, you know, you're better than alcohol, you know, as a person. You need to get past it and stuff.
Right.
So, yeah.
All right. You think it'd be all right if I were to post like these show notes on our page, like after the episode, like just like if you wanted to read my notes or whatever?
Actually, here's an idea. Why doesn't everybody check out our Patreon? And I'm going to add that as a perk.
There we go. You got to pay for it. Sorry.
Yeah. So you know, if you give us even just $1 a month, one of the perks you get is you can get Sesame and maybe my notes for our episodes.
I mean, we hate to dangle in front of you, but you know, we do a lot of stuff for free, so you know, we need to get paid something. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, it'd be a good benefit if you're interested in that. If there's any other kind of perks you would like for us to add to our Patreon, just send me a message at mike@cullenpark.com. Also, go to all2real2.com where you can find everything about the show. You can find our Patreon there as well. It needs to be updated. I know it's the Cullen Park Patreon, but you know, there's other things you can get besides just stuff for our podcasts. You know, you can check out everything there. There's links to all of our social media. There's also links to all of the different places you can listen to the show. Let us know if any of that stuff's interest you, about our show notes and everything. Also, be sure to follow us, give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcast or wherever you can. Mm-hmm. And check out our TeePublic as well. We got some merchandise there.
Do it.
Until next time, folks, just remember, I love you. Alex really loves Uncle Ned. And Sesame loves you. And until next time, bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to All Too Real 2 podcast, a Cullen Park production. Produced and edited by Michael E. Cullen II. Music by Matthew Hawes. Subscribe and share the show. Visit us at cullenpark.com.